So The Ranger is the second film in Redbox that I rented out of the 4 that I got last night, but it was the one I was most anticipating. And I'm reviewing these out of order. I watched The Ranger first. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The main reason I was looking forward to this is because I love films that incorporate punk rock and horror. You know, when The Green Room was announced, there's tons of them. It usually always works for me. And so I was really looking forward to this. It's a slasher, modern day. It's got punk. It's got this and that. And the trailer, which I watched very little of, the production value didn't look atrocious. It actually looked decent. It didn't look great, but it looked fine. It was like, oh, all right, these guys at least know what they're doing. They might not have the money, but they know what they're doing. So this is good. So anyway, so I watched this, and in case you guys did not know, this is about a punk, like wannabe punk band. They're trying to form a band, I guess, and the cops come and raid some punk place that they're at. One of the guys stabs a cop, so they're on the lam, and they go to hide out at this girl's cabin that she has up in the woods, or the forest, should I say. And while they're there, they are being stalked by a ranger. Yes. This stars the girl from The Transfiguration. If you didn't see The Transfiguration, it's not a film for everybody, but it's really, really damn good. It was one of the best drama horrors of last year, in my opinion. And this chick that's in this was the star in that as well, alongside the main star of The Transfiguration. But it's very, very slow, just so you know. Transfiguration. If you like films like Let the Right One In, or even Martin, you know, Romero's film, I would go and check that out. Anyway. So yeah, this film, I was pretty underwhelmed with it, to be honest. I liked the soundtrack, even though I really don't like punk rock people all that much. I always think that they're, you know, self-absorbed cunts. Not always, but most of the time. And these characters very much embody a lot of what I hate about the punk rock scene. I grew up, you know, trying to be a part of that when I was younger, and I just despised the people that were a part of it. Don't get me started on those guys. Let's not. But yeah, I thought the film was going fine, and things were happening that I was like, all right, that was cool, and the music is cool, and this is, you know, there's a lot of cool colors when they're in the nightclub. There were some, you know, setups for things that I was like, okay, that could be intriguing, and that could be interesting and whatnot. But ultimately, I just didn't get much from it. I absolutely despised the characters. Now, I know that was the intention, but fuck, I hated them. I hated them so much. Besides the main girl, but Jesus Christ, man, I wanted to reach through the screen and strangle them to death myself. Their deaths couldn't come quick enough. Speaking of the deaths in this film, to be expected because it is lower budget, are very lackluster. Off the top of my head, I watched this last night. I have no memorable kill in my head. I remember how people were killed, and there's no real gore that I can remember all that much. Okay, that's not true. There is one that I can think of, and it looks fine. It looks good. But yeah, the ending is just frustrating. There were so many things. Now, I'm going to be discussing this on my podcast in full spoilers with a guest there, Wyatt Terwilliger. I do know how to say your name. And of course, my co-host as usual. We will be covering this the 70s film Grizzly, and a short film. But yeah, just the ending of this was annoying. It really just annoyed the shit out of me. There's so many of those moments where it's like, why would they do that? Why would he do this? Why would she do that? Come on, what the fuck? And I can't look past that kind of shit, you know? It just drives me crazy, and there's too much of it. And because of characters that I hated, yes, that's intentional, and I feel like that sucks because the actors that are giving the performances are doing a good job to make me hate them and want them to die, but maybe because their deaths weren't as satisfying as I would have hoped for. Maybe if I watched them get brutally murdered, like great gore, saw very, exciting deaths, it would have been cathartic to deal with these fucking assholes so long. I wanted them to hurt. Okay? I fucking hated these people so much. They're like, I'm sure people are sitting here like, oh my God, they didn't accept him into their little club, so now he wants to kill them all. No, these characters, I don't care if they were in punk outfits or if they were fucking dressed as jocks or they were dressed as leprechauns. I wouldn't give a fuck what they were dressed like. I wanted them dead. And because their deaths weren't satisfying to me, I did not like that. The ending was all super, annoying, and there was a lot of obvious things. There were a couple cool things. I'm not going to completely shit on the film and say don't watch it. I think that if you're a fan of low-budget slashers, you should, and especially if you're a fan of punk rock, like gutter punk, I would definitely give it a watch. I know that Wyatt liked it more than I did, and he was really looking forward to this. But yeah, it really fell flat for me, I have to say, and that's a shame because I really wanted to like this flick. But I'm not steering people away from this one. I've laid down what I think, the kind of people I think will like this. Ironically, I'm one of those people, and I'm saying I didn't like it, but maybe I just have a bias. But there's too many issues I have throughout the film. Music's cool, I said, and all that, but this one was a shame for me. Yeah, so that's all I got, guys. I'm moving on to my next one.